Hi, welcome to the Night Farmhouse. I'm Leanne, and if you're new to my channel, I do cooking and baking from scratch, canning and dehydrating videos. And if that sort of thing is just you, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload my next video. Today we're going to be canning beef, and we're going to be using canning beef that I got from my last steer that we harvested. I love hot packing beef, so I have a friend that requested this video, so this one's for you. Let's get started, shall we? Before you get started on any canning project, you always want to refer to a trusted source of information on how to properly process your food. Anytime you're going to can something, you always want to follow your instructions and read them before you start. I can't tell you how many times I've actually screwed up assuming I knew the directions. So we're going to take a look at a safe approved resource, which would be your manual, of course, and we're going to look up the instructions for canning beef. And you want to remove all the excess fat, and if it's game meat, you want to soak it in salt water for an hour, then rinse it off. Raw pack, you would just fill the jars up, don't put any liquid on, slap a lid on, and put it in the canner. I like hot packed meat just because it holds its shape better, it doesn't dirty the jar as much, and it saves you lids. All right, to hot pack, we're gonna just basically broil or grill or cook it in boiling water, then pack that into jars, leaving a 1-inch headspace, and either cover it with broth, water, or tomato juice. 90% of the time, I've only just done water just because I hate to waste my good bone broth on canning meat and reprocess it and lose nutrients. But I have used better than bouillon already, but I didn't notice any that much difference in flavor. So let's get started, shall we? You want to make sure you have a very clean surface here. I'm using a cutting board inside a cookie sheet. That way you don't have any blood on the counter. And make sure your hands are clean. Well, I just wash them just to make sure. All right, then we're gonna put some foil on our cookie sheets. Easy cleanup. I try to fill it from aluminum foil as much as I can. I asked my butcher to cut it up into cubes, but you want at least 1 to 2 inch pieces, and sometimes I just get picky. You're gonna have some fat in your jars, but you wanna make sure your pieces aren't too big. Maybe like this, 1 inch square. And we're just gonna go through here and cut off some fat here. And when it comes to canning, you want to follow all safety guidelines. And I have about 20 pounds here to process today of beef alone. Then I have maybe 70 pounds of chicken thawed out in the refrigerator. So today's going to be a busy day for me. I'm glad you're here to cheer me on. All right. I have seared this in the cast iron skillet to give it flavor. So if I had more time and didn't have 70 pounds of chicken to process behind this, I would do that. Or if you had a Blackstone grill or a flat top grill outside, and when it's not raining, of course. It's pouring here actually. Raining pretty good here today, in the middle of January. Alright. Alright, I have my oven at 425, and we're going to put these 2 trays of meat in, and you want to make sure your beef is on a single layer. And I'm going to roast this at about 25 minutes. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator so it can stay cold, and we're going to start washing jars. First, we're going to fill up our pot to get our water started for boiling water over the meat when we fill up the jars. Okay, I've washed my jar, inspected it for chips and such, and then we're going to quickly load up our meat into the jar. And I like to take my Vitamix stomper and just push it down a little bit, not like mash it down, just to encourage it to move closer to the earth. And then we want a 1-inch headspace. And make sure we don't have any sharks or buoys above our water. But you do want it filled to that line. All right. And since my water is almost boiling, we will add the water. Then you want to debubble. And I like to go the whole around the outside, because those pockets of air are there, especially with all the nooks and crannies of beef. Alright, I'm going to use my tamper and tap it down just so there's nothing poking out of the water. Then I'll find my paper towel that I lost. We're going to wipe the rim. We're going to check for a 1-inch headspace. I don't remember doing that. Then we'll add our 4-jar lid to the top and find a ring. We're going to tighten the band till it just won't go without any force. If I can find my jar lifters, we can get this into the canner. I think they're still in the cupboard. There you are. I found you. Alright. Alright, we have our 7 jars ready for the canner. And you want to make sure all your vent holes are clear. Your vent pipe. And then you just want to put the lid on. And on an All-American, you want to tighten the screws that are on opposite sides of each other at the same time. So this one will go up, and this one goes up. I'm trying to do it one-handed. Alright. Then after, I always put it on medium-high heat. Then we're going to wait until this vent pipe has a strong, steady stream coming up through there. Then we'll time it for 10 minutes. Then at that time, we'll put the weight on and wait for it to build pressure up to 10 pounds per square inch. All right. I'll bring you back when we got a little bit of a stream to tell you what is a weak stream and what's a slow stream. All right. Let's see if I can get an angle. Try to move that pot. See how there's breaks in between? We want a strong stream coming up through here. And see how it just fits? We want to make sure we don't have this when we put the weight on. We'll check back when it's a strong. All right. I think it's going so fast you can't even see it. All right. Now we have a. All right, there we go. All right, this is what a steady stream will look like. And this is when you want to put your pressure weight on. And on this weight, you have a 5, 10, and 15. We want it on the 10. All right, and this dial gauge will slowly gather pressure up to 10, and that's when we'll start counting 90 minutes. All right, so our needle is above 10, so we're just going to go ahead and start our timer now. When the timer is done, we'll turn off the burner and let the needle come back down to 0. So now the pressure is back down to 0. I've even switched it over to this burner. I can take the weight off, and we're going to let it sit for 10 more minutes. All right, we're going to slowly take the lid off and let the heat escape from that slowly. You don't want drastic temperature changes. So we'll wait another 5 minutes. All right, we're ready to take the lid off. And take them out of the canner. You don't want to retighten the rings. All right, that is 7 quarts of hot packed beef. I have 2 more in the next canner load. And don't be startled at how much it's still cooking. That's important, very important, because if it's not boiling, it won't seal, or it might unseal too. You want to let these sit on your counter for 24 hours. Then you want to wash the jars and put them in a cool, dark place. Up to maybe a year or 2 for good nutritional value.